Hey, all, welcome to the Anchored and Ascending podcast. We're glad that you're here today. And today we are going to talk about transformation, pretty much transformation of your mind more than anything else. But we'll get to that. This is going to be kind of a part one and a part two. Today, I'm going to talk just transformation in general, but more or less the transformative mindset that you need to begin your journey. In part two of this, I'll kind of talk about my own story and my transformation of how I went from who I was and the person I was really to the person that I wanted to be and that I felt God was calling me to. So today I want to pose and start off with a question for you. What if the life that you want isn't as far away as you may think? Say that again. What if the life that you want isn't as far away as you might think? What if the gap between where you are right now and where you want to be, your dreams, your aspirations, your goals, it isn't necessarily contingent upon your talent, your resources, your connections, but rather your thinking, what goes on in your mind? You see, we talk about transformation like it's cosmetic, like it's external, like it's a new body, right? A new job, a new relationship, some kind of new routine. But real transformation is eternal before it is visible. We see and deal with it internally before it even shows itself externally in an outward appearance or a paradigm shift or behavior adjustment. See, if you miss that truth, you will spend your life chasing upgrades without ever experiencing change. You're just trying to get on to the next best or the newest or the greatest or the most trendy thing. But you see, when we settle into who we are as people and transformation begins to set in within our mind, you see, we become a new person. We begin to renew and transform our mind as we should to become the person that we are called to be. If you're a Christian like me, you maybe believe in that God helps in that renewing, that God begins to work in your life, in your heart, and most importantly, in your mind to renew it to become the person that God is calling you to be. You see, you can't get this oftentimes by trying harder or copying someone else's strategy or by waiting until you feel motivated. But you do this daily, habitually. You renew your mind. Why? Because your mind is the command center for your entire life, right? Every action that you take was once a thought. Every habit you repeat was once a decision. Every limitation you experience or you accept is only a belief that is right here. If you believe you can achieve it, you can unlock things, actions, attitude, words in your life in order to get you there. So if your life isn't changing, it may not be your circumstances and the issues that are surrounding you. It may be within you rather and in your thinking. So most people live inside inherited patterns, right? Patterns, experiences really that fall on the culture that maybe they were raised in. Maybe it has to do with their family or patterns from fear or from isolation. We even see patterns from comfort just because it's easy. You see, but the hard truth is this: you cannot transform while protecting your comfort. Transformation requires some kind of tension, some kind of internal and external just struggle within you. It requires you to challenge the normal, challenge the status quo, challenge the everyday and who you are. It requires you to do something different. Now, the easy thing is most people say, well, I like the way things are going and I don't really want to rock the boat or shake anything up, or my wife or my spouse or my husband may not support me, or my children, I just got to take care of them. And it's so easy for us to find excuses in our everyday life from being the person that we are called to be. Maybe it's time that we question the average. Maybe it's time to step outside of the box, right? Step out of our comfort zone, if you will. Step outside of what feels safe to us and into true, lasting, lifetime transformation. You see, oftentimes people want relief. They want something different, but they don't know where to start. They want something that's temporarily can help them. They want to lose 10 pounds within 10 weeks, or right, they have an upcoming class reunion or vacation and they just want to get in shape as fast as they can. They're not aware of the lasting effects that they could really truly have if they put their mind to it. You see, transformation should be permanent. Relief says, make this discomfort stop now, immediately. Transformation says, I can do this for the long haul, through the discomfort, through the suffering, through the uneasiness, through the tiredness, through the it's not easy anymore phases. You can experience transformation if you don't give up. But that shift has to happen in your mind. There comes a moment in a person's life when they look around and say, this is not enough. this is not what I hoped for. This is not what I wanted. And it's not necessarily in a complaining way, but oftentimes it's a quiet, reflective time where you sit and you say, you know what? My goals, my dreams, my aspirations of what my life would look like now, it doesn't look like that at all. And it's not complaining and it's not belittling however your life may be right now, but maybe it's a holy discomfort and disconnect within you that's calling you to something more, a deep, internal, soul and spirit stirring moment where you say, you know what? I was made for more. I was designed for more. There has to be more to this life. And that's that moment, that question that is pondered in your brain is what starts you down this road to transformation. I was made for more. Say that to yourself. If you're even thinking about it, if you're on and even wanting to embark on a transformative journey, say those words. I was made for more. And as you speak it, think it. Think about what your life would look like if you were truly believe that you were made for more. Not more ego, not more applause, but more growth, more depth, more impact. And that stirring is dangerous. That question is dangerous. Why? Because ultimately, when you see what's possible, when you unlock that in your mind, you can't unsee it. Once you begin to see and understand and experience what God wants to show you for your life and become who you are called to be, staying where you are honestly becomes painful. You're restless. Your spirit isn't happy. You're looking and longing for more. You see, transformation begins when you stop asking, what do I have to do? And start asking, who do I need to become? Transformation begins when you stop asking, what do I have to do? And start asking, who do I need to become at my core? Because your behavior will follow your identity that you set for yourself always. That's non negotiable. You see, if you see yourself as inconsistent, you will act inconsistent. If you see yourself as disciplined, you will begin to act very disciplined. If you see yourself, though, on the same side of this, stuck, is not knowing what to do in the same routine over and over, you're going to sabotage yourself subconsciously. And that growth that you want, that development that you want, isn't going to happen. But as you anchor yourself in truth, in your identity, in who you are, and what you're capable of, what you are called to, what you are responsible for, you are designed to grow. And as you grow, everything changes. The transformation that you need, that is based in your mind, is fulfilled through your body and your actions and your environment that surrounds you. Everything changes. You see, there's a scripture verse in Proverbs that says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Not as he wishes, not as he posts, not as he performs, not as he tells everybody else, not as even as he speaks it, but rather as he thinks, as a person thinks, so he is. His life is transformed. So if you want a transformed life, start with transformed thinking. Stop looking at yourself in negative tones. Stop looking at the world around you with negative aspect and a negative mindset. Start looking at yourself in a positive way, that you were made for more, and go after it. Chase it. You see, transformation also requires honesty, brutal honesty with yourself that oftentimes so many people don't want to take. It means looking in the mirror and saying and seeing who you are at your core and either accepting it and being okay with it or saying, I was made for more. This can't be it. So then you begin asking yourself the hard questions. You're bringing out honesty within yourself about your habits, honesty about your excuses, about where you've settled. And as you begin to ask yourself those questions of honesty, growth begins to happen. You see, real, transformative, lasting growth happens when your excuses end and you begin to move forward. You see, you can't just pray for discipline and protect distraction. You cannot desire greatness in your life and tolerate mediocrity and pride. If you want something better for yourself, you have to go after it and you have to chase it. You can't want a better future and cling to a present comfort that is truly discomfortable. Why? Because you know you were made for more. Transformation is a decision to disrupt your own patterns. It means changing your behavior once you have set your mindset. It means waking up earlier. It means training when you don't feel like it. It means speaking truth and having hard conversations when it is uncomfortable, but it's being brutally honest. It means to forgive when your pride doesn't and your ego begins to rear up. You put it in its place. It means to lead and to do what's hard when it's so easy to hide behind something or someone else or an excuse. Yeah, it's difficult. Transformation is costly, but so is stagnation. So is being in the comfortable, same status quo spot that you are right now. You see, one cost produces growth within our life, the other cost produces regret. Growth and greatness, or regret and wonder. You see, both are risks. Life is a risk. So as you take that risk, realize that as you transform your mind with that risk as the base of it, you can do great things for yourself and for others. You see, because it comes down to a truth that not a lot of people want to hear. Sometimes transformation, in the beginning stages, of course, is not dramatic enough because it's small, subtle changes. It's not dramatic, wonderful, grandiose things. It's small changes. It's daily. It's disciplined actions stacked up over time again and again and again. You see, we're not to grow weary in doing good, for in a proper time, we will harvest what we have sown. And so it's scriptural, it's biblical, but it's also easy to see and apply to any area of our life. Harvesting something is a slow process. You plant a seed and it takes time for it to build into your own, in order for you to use it and harvest and to eat it and ingest it. But it's certain, if you plant it, it's going to grow. Daily sun, daily water, but it takes time. It's not there overnight. So, my encouragement to you is to do it. Don't quit. When you start the transformation journey, it starts very, very slowly, but it's getting up on time. It's walking a certain number of steps a day. Maybe it's trying to drink a gallon of water or at least enough to plan your meals out every day. And as you do that day after day after day, you begin stacking wins. And the more wins you stack, the more confident you become. And you realize that risk that you took in taking this venture is really starting to pay off because you're seeing progress. Why? Because you chose to transform your mind. It's not some microwave instantaneous growth. It doesn't happen overnight, excuse me. Success doesn't just occur haphazardly. Success, transformation, greatness occurs when you make a decision within your mind to commit to doing it and showing up for yourself every single day. It means that moment that you say, I will not live below my potential. I will not blame others for my future. I will not allow fear to dictate my decisions. That's the moment that you grab hold of your life, you grab hold of your future, and transformation starts. So, you, listener, let me ask you something. Where have you normalized average in your life? Where have you fallen into and sit within the status quo of comfort? And yet you look around and you want more, but maybe you don't feel like you have the energy or the time, or honestly, you're just lazy. Where and when have you convinced yourself, well, this is just who I am? Take it or leave it. Where have you stopped challenging yourself? Husbands, mothers, fathers, wives. When have you stopped putting in the effort to make your home the kind of environment that you always dreamed for it to be? Your relationship with your spouse is something that you've always wanted and you smile about as you think about. What stopped you from challenging yourself to be better and do better? You see, because the version of you that you want to become is on the other side of your comfort, the other side of your suffering, the other side of maybe some other day. That is where the person that you want to become lies. But it's up to you to go get it. It's up to you to change your mind. The only way to get there is through intentional engaging your mind for transformation. And so, yeah, it requires courage to evaluate your circle of influence. That means evaluating your friends, courage to evaluate the standards by which you are living life. Are you going through the motions, or do you have a planned, intentional way that you are pursuing something with greatness? Courage to outgrow the environment that may be holding you back, that you have to excuse yourself from that area only because you want more for yourself. Courage to say no to distractions, to say, I'm not going to watch TV tonight. Why? Because I need to walk on the treadmill for 30 minutes, or I want to read a book so that it'll help me with my finances or my relationships better. Encourage to say yes, the responsibility for yourself. Instead of saying no, saying you don't have time, or making an excuse in your head, rather push yourself. Take an action that, in spite of whatever fear may be there, that you're going to do it. So as you take courage, as you take heart, to cast whatever fear that you have inside of you and inside your mind away, that you are ready right now to pursue greatness within you, that you are ready to transform your mind and your thinking in order that your whole body, your whole life may change. You can do it. You see, true transformation requires alignment. It requires aligning your beliefs and your behavior, your values, your schedule, your calling, your commitments, all of those things have to be in alignment. You can't say family is everything and never be present with them. You can't say your health matters, but you never train and you eat whatever is set in front of you. You cannot say that faith is central to who you are, but you still yet never open your Bible, renew your mind, or go and participate in worship with other believers. You see, that alignment is integrity lived out in your life. And integrity builds power. Why? Because it started with your transformation. As you anchor yourself in who you are, that's where the transformation occurs. The next step is then aligning yourself to what your goals are, to just position yourself in a direction, to then be activated the next step, to pursue forward with greatness, whatever that goal or dream is, because you want to hit it and you want to get there. And as you are activated in that way, you begin to ascend. It's not just a straight line. You begin to ascend and pick up speed and you start going upward and you start doing great things. And then the last pillar of the Anchored and Ascending program is achievement. You finally then achieve the person, the calling, the purpose, the desire, the dream, the goal that you set out and started from at the very beginning. Why? Because you can do it. You can. You see, when the world and the external world and the cultural world around you aligns, you need courage. You have to access that inner confidence within you. Your clarity must increase. Your momentum must increase. Why? Because there's going to be nothing but friction. There's going to be nothing but everyone else and their brother telling you, you can't do it. That's too hard. That's too much. Stop thinking that way. You don't have enough money. You're not from that right side of town. You don't have that certain status. Instead, move forward in faith. Have courage. Take heart in who you are and the mindset that you are setting forward to transform you into the person that you are called to be. So let me encourage you with this. You are not stuck. You may be undisciplined. You may be distracted. You may not know what to do. You may be a little afraid or fearful, but you're not stuck. You see, stuck is a mindset. Growth is a decision. As you renew your mind, as you transform your mind and make the decision for you to do something for you, you don't need anyone else's permission. You don't need anyone else's applause. You don't need perfect timing, and for all the stars to align. You need commitment. You need a decision. You need to commit to renew your mind, to challenge your norms, to elevate your standards, to pursue what is right for you over what is easy. You see, transformation isn't about becoming someone else. It's about unlocking who you were called to be from the very start, anchored in truth, grounded in your identity, ascending through discipline, the status quo, and unlocking a life of achievement, unlocking a life of greatness. God called you to, all because you decided to change. So my question as I kind of close this out is if you feel something stirring right now, if this is getting you excited, that's not coincidence. It's calling. Actually, it's conviction within you that the awareness that's more is possible. But are you going to take and make the effort to move forward? You see, that's the question. It isn't whether transformation is available. It is. You can have it at any time, at any moment. You just have to decide that. Question is, how will you respond with the question? Will you disrupt your comfort? Will you choose discipline over ease? Getting up early instead of sleeping in? Will you commit to daily growth? Because the life that you want, the life of true transformation, is built by the person that you need to become, not what you do. So here's what I want you to know. You don't have to walk the path alone. True transformation, yes, it is intentional, it's structured, it's accountable, but it is also guided. If you're ready, truly ready to renew your mind, to elevate your discipline level, to align your life into what you want to become, and to become the person that you were designed to be, let's go. I want to help you. I'm ready to support you, to encourage you, to walk alongside you, to get you to where you need to go. So let's do this. Let's anchor your life. Let's align it. Let's activate it. Let's ascend to greatness and let's achieve your dreams and goals together. Why? Because it's not about hype. I can hype you up all day and that's fine, but it's about identity. It's about execution. It's about sustainable daily showing up for yourself, becoming anchored in who you are so that you can ascend to something more. So I hope that you understand that this transformation journey is part of a transformed. You see, today, kind of talking through the transformation mindset that we have, that all we do is unlock that change in that thinking, and we can truly change our life. On the second part of this, I'm going to be talking about my own personal transformation journey, what that looked like, and how it changed me, and how I was changed, all because I changed my thinking to the person that I thought I was and transformed into the person that I believe I was called to be and that God was calling me to be. So if this resonates with you, if you want to be part of this journey, if you want somebody to walk along as a life transformation coach, I would love to do that. If this resonates with you, stay connected with me. Like this, share this video if you would, subscribe to the channel, engage and comment. I'd love to hear from you what I can do to help transform your life. Why? Because we all need to share this. We all need to talk about it. We all need to help others and encourage others and let them refuse to settle. Encourage them to transform their life and who they want to be. Not surface change, not motivation for a week or a rah rah, happy, good, feel good text, but real transformation where we reach out, we build it together, we check on one another, we encourage one another, we support one another. Why? Because we were made for more. So now think it. Now commit to it. Now do it. Become anchored and transform your life. That's all for today, friends. Keep ascending. You got this. Like, subscribe, and share, and hope you enjoy it. Thanks.